We want to get to some breaking news now about President Trump's appointment of Matt Whitaker as acting attorney general. We know it is controversial. There have been questions about it. And now MSNBC's Garrett Haake is on Capitol Hill with word of a lawsuit being filed. Garrett, what's up?
That's right, Hallie. Controversial, we knew, but now 3 Democratic senators on the Judiciary Committee are saying the appointment is unconstitutional. The 3 senators, Mazie Hirono, Richard Blumenthal, and Sheldon Whitehouse, filed suit this morning in federal court, arguing that Matt Whitaker is, in their words, a constitutional nobody, that his role as chief of staff at the Justice Department, while a high-ranking role, is not Senate confirmed, and that would make him acting in any capacity as the acting attorney general also unconstitutional. The Constitution says these high-ranking positions in the cabinet have to be approved by the Senate, and their argument is that even in an acting role, even when he's time-limited, the acting attorney general, Matt Whitaker, should not be able to exercise those powers as attorney general. They argue that essentially the idea that he's chief of staff, while that might sound impressive on paper, constitutionally doesn't mean anything. He could be the head of the HR department as a high-ranking person at the Department of Justice too, but that doesn't make them constitutionally qualified for the role. So these 3 senators, working with 2 outside groups here, filing this lawsuit saying if Matt Whitaker wants to be the attorney general, if Donald Trump wants him to be the attorney general, he needs to be confirmed by the U.S. Senate before he can exercise those powers.
Not to get into some super intense nitty-gritty legal nerd stuff, Garrett, but we're going to do it. And I want to have the conversation, bring in Nancy Cook and Aaron Blake, because this revolves around this thing called the Federal Vacancies Reform Act, as Garrett points out. Pete Williams, who is our legal expert here at NBC News, has written about this, Garrett, in anticipation of potential legal questions coming up. So here's the deal. There are 3 ways under this Vacancies Act that somebody can end up appointed to a position, right? You can either designate the deputy to take over, which the president did not do in this instance. That would have been Rod Rosenstein. You can either pick somebody nominated by the president and confirmed for a different job, which Matt Whitaker doesn't really fit because he was Senate confirmed, but it was years ago for a separate job, or by naming someone serving in a senior position in the relevant agency for at least 90 days. So, Garrett, this is to your point. That is where Whitaker fits in. He's a senior person. He's been there at least 90 days. That seems to be allowed. There is a separate federal law, though, that specifies specifically for an attorney general, if that office is vacated, then the deputy attorney general comes in. So there's this question, right, of like which law takes precedence? And that's where this legal concern and this legal question comes in. Are you still awake? Did I put you to sleep? Are you there? Aaron and Nancy, and I know you guys have both been writing about this as well.
The short answer to what's going to happen now is the people who argue that this is not going to work, that it's illegal, are making more of an aspirational case. They believe that the Constitution requires this person to be, confirmed. But if you look at how the law has been carried out over the last several decades, over 100 years, going back to a Supreme Court case in 1898, it actually seems to be pretty clear, according to legal experts who have really studied appointment law. And that's because the acting attorney general, acting positions at heads of departments are not considered to be what's known as a principal officer.
Okay.
The Constitution says a principal officer must be confirmed by the Senate. But in this case, if it is not considered a principal office, if an acting person is considered to be serving in somebody's capacity rather than taking their job, they're going to be okay. So I think this is unlikely to succeed.
Hey, Garrett, nobody's running around the hallways today, right? Congress is out for the holiday week, so you're not going to get Blumenthal or anybody, but we do have that statement from his office, right?
That's right, yeah. None of these senators are here. Sometimes Hirono sticks around since the flight back to Hawaii is such a monster, but we'll be on the hunt. But I think this is going to be mostly me and the statues today.
Okay, Garrett Haake, thank you much, my friend, for that breaking news right here on MSNBC Live. Thank you. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. Why don't you subscribe? It's really easy. Just click on that button down there. And for more news from MSNBC, click on any of these videos here for the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more videos from MSNBC with our newsletters. Head over to msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up.